Red Dead Online has its handful of intense, really fun, and really epic missions that have you stealing valuable jewels from trains, robbing banks as a part of the online story lore, and even holding up stagecoaches and stealing diamonds from the occupants. But have you tried out the latest mission to feature bar fights in the game? The Moonshiner role occasionally has you go out into the frontier and start bar fights as a part of the resupply mission content, but Rockstar added a whole new mission centered around it, and right now you can make tons of money fast and easy replaying this mission. So with that said, sit back and relax and enjoy the intense bar fight hand-to-hand combat of the Sow and Reap Telegram mission. So the mission that we're doing right now to get these bar fights in Red Dead Online is the Skelding's Contract mission called Sow and Reap. And your task is right now to go to the Tumbleweed Saloon, but you need to be careful because you can't use weapons. And basically you're just getting into a bar fight with some of the patrons there because they're part of the 7th generation cult. And we're trying to get some intel on the rest of their location. Spoiler, they're hiding out at Rathskeller Fork, but as you can see, we're going to walk here into the Tumbleweed Saloon, and it's just a really fun bar fight situation. Usually you have between 2 and 4 enemies to fight. You can kind of head for the gang leader right here, the group member leader, to just get a couple of easier shots on him first, and that way you don't need to punch the other guys as much. It is pretty fun. The only problem I could see players encountering with this part of the mission is just the fact that the target locking is kind of strange. You'll spend about 2 minutes fighting these guys, typically. It seems like in all my previous recordings of playing this too, if you just try and go from enemy to enemy, you'll spend about 2 minutes bar fighting them. It's, you know, a decent amount of the mission, but it is fun, right? Because we all love like the Moonshiner resupply missions where you need to go in and beat up all the bar patrons there. And so it's good that Rockstar kind of brought this in a Telegram mission itself too. So as you can see, the leader right there, we defeated him. He's just crouching and cowarding basically. We defeated this guy. Now we need to go after these two to get a couple more shots off on him or get a couple more punches. We're gonna beat the crap out of this lady. But oh man, she's got a zinger, that's for sure. An evil right hook. You're going down. So she's gonna run, and now we just gotta beat the crap out of this guy. And we should be good to go after this. On Ruthless difficulty, you know, of course, you can see their punches actually do land a decent amount. I'm like barely blocking any. Usually I'm trying to block more, but actually I just noticed my health is kind of low. And yeah, we don't want to die, that's for sure, but we may actually right here, depending on what happens with this guy. He's gonna go for another punch. I'm pressing the block button. I'm pressing square on my PlayStation controller. That's bizarre. Okay, so now we just have this guy. If you like punch him first, it takes a second for his thing to pop up that he gave you the letter. I don't know why that is the case, but now it says a known priest of the 7th generation has fled to New Austin and is laying low with a band of outlaws serving as his guard. And you know exactly where we're going. We're going to Rathskeller Fork, baby. You definitely want to make sure you tonic up before that bar fight just in case. You know, get a nice potent health cure in there and maybe even some minty big game to fortify your health core with some gold. Definitely want to do that to spare the civilians. If you kill any, your reward would be less. I always end up trolling the bar members by throwing a piece of dynamite in there, but I don't want to lose any money for this mission, especially since we're going for the maximum payout of gold. When we spend 30 minutes on this mission, we'll get that same thing with money and XP. Of course, ignoring or disregarding any of the other XP that we get during the mission just from getting kills and getting headshots and challenges completed. I guess we'll just take some chewing tobacco too. It doesn't really matter that our Deadeye core is just a little bit less than topped up right there. I mean, I could take something to fortify it, but honestly, I don't really need to be honest. We can complete this mission just fine. If you follow the waypoint, it'll take you up to the west side entrance right there, but I don't actually recommend that. I recommend you come in from the south right here because you'll notice that the enemy that you need to capture and hogtie and lasso and stuff is going to be spawning on this side. He's in the back right corner over that fence, if you could actually see through it. So that's what we're trying to do. We're basically trying to cut him off so he has nowhere to go because he ends up leaving from this south entrance right here. So I'm using the Evans repeater, the semi-auto shotgun, and 2 Schofield revolvers. As you guys know, my optimal layout is going to be the Lancaster repeater, but I feel like for this type of mission, I just want to mess around and have a lot of ammo. Sometimes you want to use the Evans just because of the fact that the ammo count is going to be a lot greater. That's going to allow you to get a lot more kills before needing to reload, which hopefully should spare your life in several different situations. And as you're shooting the enemies, kind of work your way into the property just a little bit. You don't want to get too close to people because they do a lot of damage on Ruthless difficulty. If you are playing it on Ruthless difficulty, as you can see, I'm taking a lot of shots. I just took a stamina tonic. I did not mean to do that. So he's going to spawn over here in a second. You just got to watch out because he doesn't necessarily show up on the radar. And I'm just going to use Deadeye just to make sure. Okay, there he goes. He spawns, and you can see him on the mini-map. And so that's one of the parts that I feel like, oh, crap. Did I just shoot the guy by accident? No, I didn't. I almost did, though. Sometimes you may want to shoot the horse just so he can't actually get away. Because as you can see, I'm in the middle of trying to do all this stuff. Alright, come here, buddy. Oh, did I just... Oh, I thought I knocked him out for a second. I was like, wait a minute. Alright, so he is hogtied. He is secured. Now I feel like is as good a time as any to loot some bodies. Let's get some extra money here. He's not going to break out of the lasso for a little bit, so we're fine. We have about 5 minutes or 3 minutes on it or something like that. Let's get some Schofield kills. There's still a guy just sitting on top of this building. Bam. Not anymore. See ya, buddy. I do want to loot these bodies because, you know, get some nice money out of it. I'm telling you, the bodies add up. A lot of people just don't loot the bodies in this game. You see me do it all the time in my gameplays. One, just so that there's more content to the gameplay itself, right? But also because it helps my character and it helps my account because I'm getting money. You can loot different collectible items, antique alcohol bottles, wildflowers. If you go after some of the naturalist enemies, you can definitely get some like animal skins and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. They're usually like 2-star, they're not really 3-star. A lot of the times they're 1-star, but you get a whole bunch of different stuff besides money. You get money, ammo, collectibles. You can get animal skins from the naturalist enemies, at least. I don't think you can get them from any NPCs, but the naturalist enemies that you fight during missions, or say for example during those like free the animal dynamic events where you get a free an animal from a cage, whether it's like a mountain lion or a cougar or a deer or a wolf or something, you get animal skins from those groups of enemies and those types. So that's basically the mission. Now we just need to deliver this guy to Skelding's man. But as we do this, we're actually going to get into a gunfight on the way. Here we go. The enemies have started to spawn. This is where it's imperative that you want to keep your ammo topped up because the game will send a lot of enemies after you. I've had it happen sometimes where they just like don't spawn. They spawn too infrequently and too staggeredly, but sometimes you get double or triple clusters of enemies. Sometimes the game just spawns you one basically at a time, so you can always focus on one enemy if you're quick enough in killing them, of course. But as you can see now, a bunch just popped up. So you always want to keep moving. Obviously, don't be afraid to take a tonic or something like that because you obviously... On Ruthless difficulty, you gotta watch out. You could have half health, and if you don't have a fortified gold health core, an enemy could basically one-shot you with one of their shotguns, and boom, the mission's over, right? So that's something you definitely gotta watch out for when you're playing a mission like this, because I've had that happen so many times in my own recordings where I'm just playing, I'm enjoying my time, the enemies are hitting me, but obviously they're not getting close to killing me, and then I take too much damage, I forget to top up with a minty big game to fortify my health core, and then I get one-shotted by a enemy holding a semi-auto shotgun or a double barrel or a repeating shotgun, and I already had like a full health core, it wasn't fortified anymore, and then like half a health ring, and so you just definitely don't want to have that happen. But here is the mission end. Now we just need to wait our 30 minutes for maximum gold money and XP. 30 minutes later, we're back, baby. I just tried to call the hunting wagon before so I can keep the target in the wagon. And he wouldn't hop off my horse or break out of his lasso on my shoulders and things like that. And he doesn't break off your shoulders or break out of the lasso while he's on your shoulders, but you can't call the wagon in this mission anymore. They literally must have just changed that with that recent update or something. So 1.44 gold bars we got after waiting a half hour. Now we're going to go back to the free roam and see what type of money and XP we can make. Oh wow, it's raining. 30,175 XP and $212.53. So for just like a standard Telegram mission, yes, it's triple gold, yes, it's triple money, yes, it's triple XP. That's pretty good. That's almost what you would get for completing ADIOS on 5-star difficulty, basically spending a half hour on the mission too. That's a $226 payout. This is $212. So when it comes to farming these missions, you're actually able to farm these more because the cooldown timer is less. It's only 20 minutes on these tough business, new source of employment, and Skelding's contract Telegram missions. It's 48 minutes doing legendary bounties. So if you're normally farming the ADIOS bounty, for example, to get the easy gold money and XP just for waiting out the timer, or not waiting out the timer because there is no timer, but like just waiting out the time to get the maximum payout at a half hour, well, these are actually better to farm, so I highly recommend you go and do that. So I think with all that said, we will be wrapping things up right here. Thank you so much for watching today's video, everyone. If you did go on to enjoy today's video, make sure you drop a like on it. Helps out the channel greatly. Also, if you're interested in keeping up with all of my social media, I stream over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. You can find all of those socials down in the links in the description down below. So with that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys all have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next Red Dead Online video. Adios, amigos.